Thanks. We do thank God again for being back in service this afternoon. We thank God for you that made it out. Those that had a desire to be here but in some ways were hindered. We thank God always for his loving kindness and the mercy you always continually bestow upon us. We're grateful to God so much for Brother Jesse James and the saints here in this location. Thank God for you all. We thank God for the fellowship that we have here. We thank God, as Elder James was saying, for the gospel of Jesus Christ. It is the power of God unto salvation. And I have to say, like Paul said, I thank God, brothers, that he have entrusted me with just a part of this gospel. Just a part of it. I know I don't have all of it. It's not mine. But he have entrusted me to just partake and to be able to minister and teach some of it.
Amen. Praise the Lord.
That he have revealed unto me. And let me say what he have revealed unto me. I can say as Paul, I'm not ashamed of
Praise
it.
the Lord.
I'm not ashamed of it.
Not ashamed.
I'm glad to be here with you this afternoon. We thank God for you. I thank God for the radio listeners and the YouTube viewers. I thank God for the many calls and the many emails that we have received. We certainly thank God for you all. I have to say I thank God for a call that I received this morning from a mother right here in Mobile. I have to say I thank God for the mother. She made me feel pretty good.
Praise the Lord.
She's in an apostolic faith church here in Mobile, and she have talked to me how they was taught the traditional way, no son of God in heaven. Mother called me this morning and talked to me, and she told me, she said, Brother Murray, she said, the interview, the No More Walls interview, she said, I have to say, I thank God for it. She said, and one thing of a truth, she said, everybody might as well just come on and acknowledge the scriptures.
Amen.
Now she's an old time.
Amen.
She said everybody might as well just come on and acknowledge the scriptures. She said we done said this and said that. She said, but everybody might as well just come on back and acknowledge the scriptures.
Amen.
She said they might as well just come on back.
Praise the Lord.
She started giving me her testimony of how it was coming up and the church she was in and the different organizations and whatnot, how some, didn't have the complete understanding of the Son of God, but wanted to acknowledge the Son of God, and how different organizations would just beat them down.
Yes.
Just beat them down.
Yes.
So I thank God that God has again entrusted us with a part of this gospel. I thank God for the light that God has shined on this.
Praise the Lord.
And now it's like wildfire.
Amen, brother.
It done run everywhere. And brother, I'm telling you, it's jumping the streets and the ditches.
Can't hold it.
Can't hold it, and let me tell you, folk getting upset about it.
Yes,
Folk getting upset about the gospel of Jesus Christ.
Amen, brother.
Do you hear me?
Amen.
Now, let me say this. As Paul said, the servant of the Lord must not strive.
Amen. Amen.
Be gentle, apt to teach. Well, we're not into striving against men, fighting against men. But when it come down to the gospel,
Yes.
brother, let me tell you, I say as Paul said, we're set in defense of the gospel.
Amen. Amen.
We're not going to walk light when it comes to the gospel.
Amen.
Do you hear me?
Amen.
When it came to the gospel, Paul was willing to go to battle.
Amen, brother.
Do you hear me?
Amen.
When it came to the gospel, Paul didn't keep quiet about it.
Amen.
Do you hear me?
Amen.
Give me Galatians, bro, 1:6. Let's go to work. You can call me anything. I'll take it. Do you understand?
Amen.
You can call me a skirt wearer. You can call me a little boy, a little girl. That's fine.
There you go.
I won't even entertain it. Look, it ain't even worth a comment. But when you bother the gospel, when you try to pervert the gospel, you're going to hear from me. Do you hear me? You're going to hear from me then. And not only will you hear from me, I'm ready and willing to meet you. Do you hear me? When it comes to the gospel, I'm in defense of that. Because I know what the Lord showed me. Do you hear me? Galatians 1:6, what did he say?
I marvel.
Paul said, I marvel
that you are so soon removed from him that called you into the grace of Christ.
I marvel that you're so soon removed.
Amen.
From him that called you
into the grace of Christ.
Into the grace of Christ.
Unto another gospel.
Unto what?
Another gospel.
That's what they got now.
Amen.
Another gospel.
Amen.
They're not teaching what the apostles taught.
Amen.
They got another gospel.
Amen.
The apostles in this book ain't never said
Amen.
the Son of God was from the womb to the tomb.
No, sir.
They never preached it.
Never said it.
If they preached it, give me the scripture.
Amen. Ain't none.
Give it to me. They never preached such thing.
Amen.
My God, man, the apostles ain't never preached that the body that rose from the dead was not the body that died on the cross.
No, sir.
They never preached it.
Never did it.
If they preached it, give me the scripture.
Amen. Amen.
My God, let me tell you something. We're not saying this in a corner.
No, sir, brother. No, sir.
Do you hear me? We're not saying it in a corner.
It's established.
My God, this thing's established in heaven. It's settled in heaven forever.
Amen.
My God, I'm ready to talk about it. Do you hear me? I'm in defense of the gospel.
Amen.
Paul said, I marvel
that you are so soon removed from
that
him.
you're so soon removed from him.
That called you into the grace of
That
Christ.
called you into the grace of Christ.
Unto another gospel.
Unto another gospel.
Which is not another.
That's not another.
Amen.
You tell the folks the Son of God don't exist anymore, that's another gospel.
Amen. Amen.
Not only is another gospel, it's a lie.
Amen.
Hear what I said.
Amen.
That's another gospel.
Yes, it is.
Do you hear me?
Come on, man.
What the book said, brother?
But there be some that trouble you.
And that's what's happening.
Amen.
Some that's troubling the folk.
Yes.
Some that's troubling the people.
Amen.
My God, and that's why they calling me, brother.
Amen.
Because they trouble.
Amen.
They're calling me.
Amen.
Do you hear me? My God, man, we received a number of calls last week. Brothers, sisters call us and ask us to go into some things because there was trouble about some teaching that's going forth. Some teaching that took place a week or 2 weeks ago in North Carolina. Phone ringing off the hook, they're calling because they're trouble. Do you hear me? They're trouble. They told me some of the things that was preached and asked me would I go into it. It's my pleasure.
Praise the Lord.
Do you understand? It's my pleasure to go into it.